My First Summer in the Sierra by John Muir. July 9th. Exhilarated with the mountain air, I feel like shouting this morning with excess of wild animal joy. Our course today was along the broad top of the main ridge to a hollow beyond Crane Flat. It is scarce at all rocky and is covered with the noblest pines and spruces I have yet seen. Sugar pines from 6 to 8 feet in diameter are not uncommon, with a height of 200 feet or even more. The silver firs are exceedingly beautiful, especially the magnifica, which becomes more abundant the higher we go. It is of great size, one of the most notable in every way of the giant conifers of the Sierra. I saw specimens that measured 7 feet in diameter and over 200 feet in height, while the average size for what might be called full-grown mature trees can hardly be less than 180 or 200 feet high and 5 or 6 feet in diameters. And with these noble dimensions, there is a symmetry and a perfection of finish not to be seen in any other tree, hereabout at least. The branches are whirled in fives mostly, and stand out from the tall, straight, exquisitely tapered bowl in level collars, each branch regularly pinnated like the fronds of ferns, and densely clad with leaves all around the branchlets, thus giving them a singularly rich and sumptuous appearance. The extreme top of the tree is a thick, blunt shoot, pointing straight to the zenith like an admonishing finger. The cones stand erect, like casks on the upper branches. They are about 6 inches long, 3 in diameter, blunt, velvety, and cylindrical in form, and very rich and precious looking. The seeds are about 3/4 of an inch long, dark reddish brown with brilliant iridescent purple wings, and when ripe, the cone falls to pieces, and the seeds thus set free at a height of 150 or 200 feet have a good send-off and may fly considerable distances in a good breeze. And it is when a good breeze is blowing that most of them are shaken free to fly. The other species, Abies concolor, attains nearly as great a height and thickness as the magnifica, but the branches do not form such regular whorls, nor are they so exactly pinnated or richly leaf-clad. Instead of growing all around the branchlets, the leaves are mostly arranged in 2 flat horizontal rows. The cones and seeds are like those of the magnifica in form, but less than half as large. The bark of the magnifica is reddish purple and closely furrowed, that of the concolor gray and widely furrowed, a noble pair. At Crane Flat, we climbed 1,000 feet or more in a distance of about 2 miles, the forest growing more dense, and the silvery magnifica fir forming a still greater portion of the whole. Crane Flat is a meadow with a white sandy border lying on top of the divide. It is often visited by blue cranes to rest and feed on their long journeys, hence the name. It is about half a mile long, draining into the Merced, sedgy in the middle, with a margin bright with lilies, columbines, larkspurs, lupins, castilea, then an outer zone of dry, gently sloping ground, starred with multitude of small flowers. The noble forest wall about it is made up of the 2 silver firs and the yellow and sugar pines, which here seem to reach their highest pitch of the beauty and grandeur. For the elevation, 6,000 feet or a little more, is not too great for the sugar and yellow pines, or too low for the magnifica fir, while the concola seems to find this elevation the best possible. About a mile from the north end of the flat, there is a grove of Sequoia gigantea, the king of all the conifers. Furthermore, the Douglas spruce and Libocedrus decorans and a few 2-leaved pines occur here and there, forming a small part of the forest. 3 pines, 2 silver firs, 1 Douglas spruce, 1 sequoia, all of them, except the 2-leaved pine, colossal trees, are found here together, an assemblage of conifers, unrivaled on the globe. We passed a number of charming garden-like meadows lying on top of the divide, or hanging like ribbons down its sides, embedded in the glorious forest. Some are taken up chiefly with the tall, white-flowered Veratrum californicum, with boat-shaped leaves about a foot long, 8 or 10 inches wide, and veined like those of Cypripedium, a robust, hearty liliaceous plant, fond of water and determined to be seen. Columbine and larkspur grow on the drier edges of the meadows, with a tall, handsome lupin standing waist-deep in long grasses and sedges. Castellias, too, of several species, make a bright show with beds of violets at their feet. But the glory of these forest meadows is a lily. The tallest are from 7 to 8 feet high, with magnificent racemes of 10 to 20 or more small orange-colored flowers. They stand out free in open ground, with just enough grass and other companion plants about them to fringe their feet, and show them off to best advantage. This is a grand addition to my lily acquaintances, a true mountaineering, reaching prime vigor and beauty at a height of 7,000 feet or thereabouts. It varies, I find, very much in size even in the same meadow, not only with the soil, but with age. I saw a specimen that had only 1 flower, and another within a stone's throw at 25. And to think that the sheep should be allowed in these lily meadows, after how many centuries of nature's care planting and watering them, tucking the bulbs in snugly below winter frost, shading the tender shoots with clouds drawn above them like curtains, pouring refreshing rain, making them perfect in beauty, and keeping them safe by 1,000 miracles. Yet, strange to say, allowing the trampling of devastating sheep. One might reasonably look for a wall of fire to fence these gardens. So extravagant is nature, with her choicest treasures, spending plant beauty as she spends sunshine, pouring it forth into land and sea, garden and desert. And so the beauty of lilies falls on angels and men, bears and squirrels, wolves and sheep, birds and bees. But as far as I have seen, man alone and the animals he tames destroy these gardens. Awkward, lumbering bears, the dawn tells me, love to wallow in them in hot weather, and deer with their sharp feet cross them again and again, sauntering and feeding. Yet never a lily have I seen spoiled by them. Rather, Like gardeners, they seem to cultivate them, pressing and dibbling as required. Anyhow, not a leaf or petal seems misplaced. The trees round about them seem as perfect in beauty and form as the lilies, their boughs whirled like lily leaves in exact order. This evening, as usual, the glow of our campfire is working enchantment on everything within reach of its rays. Lying beneath the firs, it is glorious to see them, dipping their spires in the starry sky, the sky like one vast lily meadow in bloom. How can I close my eyes on so precious a night?